The story opens with Xing Xiaoyu basking in over half a month of idyllic cohabitation with Hua Yong. Despite a lack of progress on a critical gene scissors project and a pending rectification list from Shinwan Lang, Xing Xiaoyu remains unusually calm and content, a stark contrast to his usual temperament. Meanwhile, his operative, Chen Pinming, faces growing anxiety. His eavesdropping efforts, though mostly smooth after an initial scare, have yielded no coarse secrets from Hua Yong's attendance at high-level meetings. The discussions have been purely administrative, leaving Chen Pinming frustrated and worried about returning empty-handed to his employer after 20 days. The turning point arrives on May 24, the first day of summer and exactly 1 month since the listening device was planted. Hua Yong, still recovering from a recent fever, prepares breakfast for Xing Xiaoyu, who, after their usual affectionate farewell kiss, requests fish soup for dinner. Hua Yong's floral pheromone scent, intensified by his illness, fills their home. Xing Xiaoyu departs, preoccupied with a phone call, and merely nods as Hua Yong waves goodbye from the elevator, an image that will forever haunt him. Shortly after, at 11:20 p.m., Chen Pinming receives a frantic call from Xing Xiaoyu. Hua Yong hasn't replied to messages, his phone is off, and he hasn't come home. Xing Xiaoyu, growing increasingly panicked, inquires about any HS group troubles, suspecting Shinwan Lang. Chen Pinming, realizing the gravity of the situation, confesses to bugging Hua Yong, blurting out that Secretary Hua might be in trouble. Xing Xiaoyu's fury mounts, his grip crushing his phone, as he grimly orders an immediate investigation. Despite his efforts, Hua Yong, a living person, has vanished. Surveillance shows him entering a stolen ride-hailing car that disappears into an alley. The chilling reality of his beloved's disappearance begins to set in, leaving Xing Xiaoyu in unprecedented agony. The gravity of Hua Yong's disappearance weighs heavily on Xing Xiaoyu. In Jianghu, where public security is typically excellent, he never imagined such a thing could happen. His home, still filled with Hua Yong's unopened purchases, cooking utensils, and the faint, lingering scent of orchids, serves as a painful reminder of his missing omega. Xing Xiaoyu pours immense resources into the search, hiring 10 private detectives, all of whom return empty-handed. His conviction that Shinwan Lang is behind it deepens. He knows Shinwan Lang's history of manipulation. The day after Hua Yong's disappearance, Shinwan Lang's phone is back on, but he consistently refuses to answer Xing Xiaoyu's calls, further fueling the Alpha's uncontrollable fury. In a fit of rage, Xing Xiaoyu slams his fist onto his rosewood desk, cracking its surface, a physical manifestation of his shattered heart. Finally, Xing Xiaoyu manages to reach Shinwan Lang's office landline. He's greeted by Gao Tu, Shinwan Lang's capable beta secretary, whom Xing Xiaoyu vaguely remembers. Surprised by Xing Xiaoyu's personal call to a landline, Gao Tu politely states that Shinwan Lang is in a meeting. Xing Xiaoyu, swallowing his pride, softens his tone, offering to adjust his schedule to meet Shinwan Lang. Gao Tu, bewildered by the shift in attitude from the usually arrogant biotech leader, agrees to pass on the message. Shinwan Lang, however, is deliberately distancing himself from Gao Tu, a change that began with Hua Yong's arrival. Gao Tu observes Hua Yong's remarkable efficiency and seamless synergy with Shinwan Lang, leading him to conclude that Hua Yong is the choice of heaven, the only omega Shinwan Lang truly tolerates. Gao Tu reflects bitterly on his own efforts to stay by Shinwan Lang's side, contrasting them with Hua Yong's natural connection. Gao Tu continues to ponder the dynamics within HS Group, especially after Hua Yong's extended absence, which HR explains as a long leave. Gao Tu initially worried for Hua Yong, but knowing smiles from colleagues suggest it's a heat cycle leave, a common occurrence for omegas. Gao Tu, however, secretly harbors a longing for Shinwan Lang's former reliance on him, recognizing that his own efforts to recover quickly from his susceptible periods were driven by a desire to be near Shinwan Lang. Later, Shinwan Lang emerges from a meeting with Changyu, who offers a sympathetic "you're on your own, good luck." Shinwan Lang then spots Gao Tu's day. He reflects on Gao Tu's long, quiet presence in his life, a steady, diligent beta he eventually brought into his close circle. Despite Gao Tu's loyalty and dependability, Shinwan Lang now finds him dull and feels an inexplicable irritation, especially since learning Gao Tu took leave for his omega partner's heat cycle. This irritation, bordering on a possessive resentment, has led Shinwan Lang to deliberately distance himself from Gao Tuesday. When Gao Tu finally relays Xing Xiaoyou's call, Shinwan Lang's already sour mood darkens. He mocks Xing Xiaoyou's supposed arrogance now that he can't reach Hua Yong, revealing he's aware of Hua Yong's disappearance, despite feigning ignorance earlier. Gao Tu is momentarily stunned by this revelation, as he genuinely believed Hua Yong was simply on leave. Xing Xiaoyu endures another agonizing day, waiting for Shinwan Lang's return call that never comes. He remains in his office, guilt-ridden Chen Pinming working late by his side. Over half a month has passed, and Hua Yong is still missing, an inconceivable reality in their lawful city. Chen Pinming, recalling industry rumors about Shinwan Lang's background, his mother's ties to a P-country gangster and Shinwan Lang's own rise from illegal activities, hints at a sinister explanation for Hua Yong's disappearance. For a man with such connections, making a person vanish would be effortless. Xing Xiaoyou's mind races, oscillating between hope and despair. He believes Hua Yong, a proud Omega, would never willingly yield to Shinwan Lang. But what if he was forced? An S-level alpha's pheromones are undeniably potent. Xing Xiaoyu curses his upright business methods, which now leave him without the illicit channels needed for information. His longtime friend, Li Baijiao, finally contacts him, initially jesting about Xing Xiaoyu spiriting Hua Yong away for his heat cycle. When he learns Hua Yong is truly missing, Li Baijiao is shocked. He then asks if Xing Xiaoyu had marked Hua Yong, even temporarily, for protection. Xing Xiaoyou's pained admission that he hadn't, due to Hua Yong's resistance and his own hesitation regarding a permanent mark, leaves Li Baijiao speechless. Li Baijiao's attempts at comfort are clumsy, suggesting Xing Xiaoyu find the next one or implies that if Hua Yong is gone, he might end up in a pleasure den, prompting Xing Xiaoyu to angrily end the call. The scene shifts to a private porcelain auction, a high society event. Shinwan Lang arrives, dominating the room with his exquisite collection, including a magnificent imperial kiln blue and white plate, cementing his reputation as the emperor of ancient porcelain. Xing Xiaoyu, less interested in the art than in confronting Shinwan Lang, contributes a valuable Juneware censer. Shinwan Lang, despite his earlier refusal to speak, conspicuously bids up Xing Xiaoyou's piece, an act of veiled respect or perhaps provocation. At the post-auction cocktail party, Xing Xiaoyu attempts to corner Shinwan Lang, but is politely, yet firmly, intercepted by Gao Tuesday. Gao Tu, acting on Shinwan Lang's direct, hostile orders to get lost, tries to deflect Xing Xiaoyu. Gao Tu privately observes Shinwan Lang's deceptive charm and underlying cruelty, yet remains loyal. He surmises that the conflict stems from Hua Yong's absence. Refusing to be deterred, Xing Xiaoyu shoves past Gao Tu and confronts Shinwan Lang directly. Shinwan Lang, with a mocking smile, dismisses Xing Xiaoyu as irrelevant, his words sharp and hostile. Xing Xiaoyu, though furious, swallows his anger and sits down, the unspoken tension thick in the air. AI Heng, Xing Xiaoyou's operative, undertakes a perilous infiltration of the heavily secured X hotel. After nearly 20 minutes of careful evasion through surveillance and security checkpoints, he reaches the top floor's linen room. There, while providing a live update to Xing Xiaoyu and listening to bugs, he overhears a chilling conversation between two low-rank Omega cleaners. They discuss an Omega in room 9901, describing him as a little beauty with the scent of orchid who was ruined by those rough alphas. The older cleaner recounts how this orchid, specially assigned to high-ranking alphas, was carried out covered in blood a few nights prior. The conversation intensifies as the cleaner casually reveals that the Omega was forced to take on 8 at once, a brutal group encounter orchestrated for the efficiency and intimacy of the elite guests. They explain that this floor is exclusively reserved by X Group for VIPs seeking something fresh and exciting. The younger Omega is horrified, struggling to comprehend the depravity. The older cleaner further details a past incident where an Omega died from such abuse and mentions the soundproof, pheromone-isolating doors, implying they're designed for forced heats where multiple alphas maliciously release pheromones, leaving the Omega no choice but to let themselves be slaughtered. AI Heng and Xing Xiaoyu are both utterly shocked as the cleaner describes how the Omega in 9901, despite his initial stubbornness, was driven to bite his own wrist in a desperate suicide attempt. This revelation sends a wave of despair through Xing Xiaoyu, connecting the horrific description to Hua Yong. Xing Xiaoyu can no longer bear to listen. Images of Hua Yong's pure, bashful smile and gentle nature flood his mind, intensifying his agony. The thought of his delicate, inexperienced Omega being forced into such a brutal group encounter, one against many, shatters him. He recalls Hua Yong's sensitivity, even to a simple kiss, and how Xing Xiaoyu himself had always been so careful not to hurt him. Now, faced with the unimaginable, Xing Xiaoyu is on the verge of madness, his broad chest heaving, his heart feeling literally torn apart. He pictures Hua Yong, so desperate that he bit his own wrist, and the memory of Hua Yong's fragile, snow-white wrists intensifies his pain. He knows these predatory alphas would never stop just because Hua Yong said stop and would kill him through their sheer brutality. Tears stream down Xing Xiaoyu's face as he's consumed by the horrifying vision of his orchid, broken and possibly dead, at the hands of others. Overwhelmed, Xing Xiaoyu's voice is hoarse and strained as he frantically orders AI Heng to rescue him. He offers an unprecedented 100 million yuan and his lifelong favor as payment, just to get Hua Yong out alive. AI Heng, though momentarily deafened by Xing Xiaoyu's desperate shout, readily agrees, recognizing the immense value of the task. Xing Xiaoyu's mind races, piecing together the grim puzzle. X Holdings had recently announced plans for a pheromone product factory, and he realizes that Shinwan Lang, also vying for this lucrative opportunity, must have offered Hua Yong as a gift or leverage. The idea that his cherished Omega, whom he couldn't bear to even temporarily mark, was used as a bargaining chip by Shinwan Lang fills him with murderous rage. He curses Shinwan Lang, wishing him dead, even skinned alive. AI Heng, meanwhile, reaches room 9901, peering through the vent to see an Omega draped in a hotel bathrobe, his exposed neck and shoulder blades marred by gruesome wounds, confirming his worst fears. The little ancestor then reveals his extended, susceptible period, heat cycle, was prolonged due to separation anxiety from his intended partner, implying Xing Xiaoyu. He also explains that the self-inflicted wounds on his body are healing, albeit slowly, surprising even the doctors. He then pointedly tells Shinwan Lang to toughen up, as Xing Xiaoyu will come looking for you again. Shinwan Lang, though internally cursing the little lunatic, acknowledges his subordinate position, reflecting on the considerable financial help he received from the little ancestor. This segment clarifies that the little ancestor is not a victim, but a powerful enigma who controls X Holdings, strategically using his susceptible period and even his self-inflicted injuries to manipulate and exert dominance, all while subtly guiding Shinwan Lang to face Xing Xiaoyu. Inside room 9901, the little ancestor, the Omega from the earlier conversation, is revealed to be awake and in a position of power, despite his bruised state. Shinwan Lang, with a visibly bruised cheek from a previous encounter, enters with Changyu. He impatiently tries to rouse the little ancestor, complaining about his subordinates being severely beaten. The little ancestor dismisses Shinwan Lang's concerns, subtly confirming he was responsible for the violence. He asserts his strict no-drug